Hello and welcome to episode 100.
Woo!
Episode 100. Theo's a little far away from me right now, so the audio on this one is going to be disagreeable to sensitive ears.
Oh, relax.
It's okay, because the rest of the episode isn't going to sound this shitty. This is just a little introduction.
Do you want me to get closer to you?
Yeah, shimmy over a little bit. Yeah, shimmy on over a little bit.
I'm eating my squash.
Well, here's the thing. The episode that we're going to play to you right now is just us having some fun and answering some fun questions, such as, what was your first kiss?
You don't have to tell them.
What was the blah blah? We did
here.
we did some fun questions for this one, just to fuck around and just have a little bit of cool stuff going on. We've got some really
old school.
yeah, we've got some really great interviews and episodes in the queue lined up right now for in the next couple weeks. But for now, we just got a fun episode celebrating episode 100 of the Boston Art Podcast. We've come a long way.
Yeah, it's exciting.
How the fuck did this happen?
We just didn't stop. What's going on?
I'm looking for my tea. I don't know where it is.
Oh. Where is your tea?
It's
Did you
just
leave it
gone.
downstairs?
It's gone.
You want some of my tea?
No. I want my own.
You need it right now?
Yeah, that's why I'm looking for it. Why else would I be looking for it if I didn't want it right now?
You stressed out?
Yeah. God damn it.
In the bathroom?
Oh, it's probably in the bathroom. But hey, so I think we're being a little bit perfectionistic.
Right
We're-
now?
No, but in life.
Oh,
Putting out the Patreon.
we're doing it.
We're going to have a $5 a month tier for you to pay $5 a month, and that you can get the podcast in full, all episodes, the entire catalog, with no ads.
Isn't that funny?
So we're going to have an ad-free listening program for $5 a month. You don't even have to actually use Patreon to listen to it. Because if you're doing that tier, you're probably just doing it to hook us up and help us out. And we really appreciate that. But the most special part of the Patreon launching is that we are starting a new podcast, a patron-only podcast that will be only available on the Patreon. We don't know how the fuck we're going to do that yet. It's going to be a lot of work, but we're going to do it.
Behind the scenes.
Or behind the scenes, so to speak.
And I don't know if we agreed on what price point that will be at yet.
10. We agreed on 10.
Oh, it's 10.
So for $10 a month, you can listen to our members-only podcast. Hopefully people do it. If not, we're just going to make a members-only podcast that nobody listens to.
It'll be real VIP.
It'll be very, very VIP in the sense that it'll just be me and you.
We have already recorded a little bit for that podcast, and basically to give you a little bit more of a pitch on that, it's kind of a shorter format than what we normally do because we still want to stay committed to making most of our content accessible to anybody. But we just kind of delve a little bit deeper into some of the things that we've been talking about on the public episodes. So another half an hour or so of us getting into the nitty-gritty of other stuff, some behind-the-scenes things, a little bit more meta about the podcast and creating a podcast and our art career specifically. So you can hear more about us as artists and about the people that we've talked to, if you want to get a little bit more of the story. Because we always run out of time.
Well, we're talking to our core listeners right now, which is kind of funny because our core listeners can see through this promotional voice. They know us how we actually are.
This isn't how you actually are?
No.
Really?
No. We're like how we are. Like, our true selves are us like an hour and 30 minutes into the show.
Well, yeah, we're in the first few minutes. Get used
Oh.
to that.
Anyway,
That is, in a way, our true selves in the first few minutes consistently. It's not really...
what does it really mean
vibe.
to be true?
You are all antsy right now and you're stressing me out.
I'm picking my nose.
Don't.
Why?
Because.
I'm strengthening my immune system.
That's not what that means unless you're about to eat it.
How do you know I'm not going to eat it?
If you do that, I'm going to scream.
I'm not going to do it. What do you think? I'm a booger eater?
Stop.
I'm cutting all this out. Jesus Christ.
Are you really?
No. I'm cool with just letting... Okay, you know what's kind of funny, though, to reflect on the 100 episode aspect of this? Is that I thought for months that once we reach 100 episodes, that would be it.
I know.
That would be like the thing, like, and that would be so important, and that would really make it feel like we did so much, and it was so profound. But now that we're here...
You're jaded.
No, I'm not jaded, but now that, you know, it's just like reaching any milestone. You reach the milestone, you look around and you go, well, This means nothing. This doesn't mean fucking anything. Let's keep going. I'm not being negative right now. I'm being serious. This is how I actually feel.
I didn't even say anything.
Yeah, but you're about to criticize me.
I was about to call you negative, yeah.
Yeah, you're about to tell me. Yeah, you admit it. You fucking just admitted it.
No, yeah, I think...
I'm not being negative. I have felt this way about other milestones of it in my life.
Yeah. I was going to say you're being negative.
I mean, it's an accomplishment.
It is. It's a good thing. Yeah. And to mark the occasion, we are starting a Patreon. That could be a big deal.
Work.
Oh my god.
I'm stressed out about it, alright?
You are in a bad mood right now, I think, in some ways.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're like happy, but like buzzing.
But the thing is, too, is that it's also Thursday night. I have to edit this entire episode, and I just want to relax. But I have to do all that work instead. It's only going to take me like 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm still kind of annoyed that I have to do it.
It's okay.
So I want to wrap up this just additional segment we're adding on.
You should.
What?
You know what?
What?
I was going to give you advice that you're definitely not going to follow, so it's probably
what is
not.
it?
I was going to say you should schedule in editing time into the Google Calendar.
Yeah, that'll help me.
It would, but you won't
do it, so. Help me. No, it's okay. All right, let's wrap this up. Guys, thank you fucking so much. 100 episodes. Honestly, it is a huge accomplishment, but the reality is we're motherfucking lifers. We're going to die doing this. We're not going to fucking stop.
Die?
Yeah, we're going to fucking die doing this.
How old do you think you're going to be?
115 podcasting.
That would be the worst podcast ever.
No, I mean, the podcast landscape might change, man. Howard Stern's been a broadcaster for like 40-something years. People still listen to him.
I might not be like a lifer, but...
We're fucking shut
I'm
the
like
fuck
maybe
up.
like a decade or...
All right, whatever. All right, let's wrap this stupid ass intro up. Thank you guys. 100 episodes. Let's keep this shit moving. Let's keep this shit moving.
Do you even like me?
I love you. You fucker. All right, I'm shutting this off.
All right.
Love you guys. Go subscribe to the fucking Patreon.
Hell yeah.
Help us pay our fucking bills and make this love of life a reality.
Help us get an apartment.
Hey, help us buy Gucci t-shirts.
No.
That's what I'm gonna do. If they give us Patreon money, I'm gonna spend all of it on all Gucci, all everything. It's gonna take like 10 years of like $8 a month to buy like a buy like a Gucci like sock.
That would actually be so funny. You just like saved it up for years and then bought one Gucci shirt.
Anyway, all right, guys, thank you. Here's the episode. Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast,
Boston's premier art podcast,
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
My name is Theodore Earthworms.
And I am Brian Huntress.
Welcome to the show.
The day driving through Plymouth Town. We've had so many episodes begin with us just cruising down this here strip.
Main Street.
Toward what we usually do is drive all the way down to the beach. But I don't think we'll do that this time.
Really? I was expecting that, to be honest.
Okay, then we could.
I mean, it's going to be dark, though.
It's a little cold, you know?
Oh, I didn't want to get out.
It's 43 degrees.
Yeah, it's nighttime. You sit in the car in the dark, and you sit at the beach.
So,
that's what you do.
So, Theo.
Yes.
How's your queer art show going that's going to be hung up in June?
Good. It's going to be hung up in May, actually.
Oh, it's going to be hung up in May.
And well, it's going to be up all of June, and it'll be hung up in the middle of May.
Oh, so May through June, and then de-install is like July or whatever?
No, June 26th, I think.
How many artists? Is this boring?
Well, no.
Oh, so not a solidified amount yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did an open call, and I got something like, I think it was like 58 or 59 different artists submitted. But the gallery is not large enough, unfortunately, for everybody. And I'm taking one piece from each person. Everybody submitted between 1 and 3 pieces. So I was really, really excited about that because there's a lot for me to work with there in terms of curation. But it's been pretty difficult trying to figure out. I've never curated a show in this sense before, where like I had to do the math of like fitting them into a space. So that's been the hang up, has been trying to figure out how to fit all of these wonderful artists into the room that I have to use. I'm trying to fit as many pieces as I can without it looking overloaded. So currently not sure, but probably somewhere between 25 and 30.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be a 50% cut down from what I have right now.
Ugh, God damn it.
I know, that sucks.
That's so hard.
It is hard. But it should be a really exciting show once it's put together and I can get through the heartache and guilt of that piece of it.
Yeah.
Are you bringing me to the skate park right now?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I can podcast and drive. I'm tired, and I think that it's giving me. I think I'm not able to completely focus on the podcast if I'm driving right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
That's fair.
We don't have to get out. Skate park is just a good place to park when you wanna just chill.
Okay.
And maybe skate as well. We won't skate. You don't skate.
Today, we woke up early. We went to the gym. We did workout. We played basketball, and we skated. And now it is 7:30.
More skateboard.
If you make me go out there, I'm going to lay on the ground and cry.
Maybe you need a good cry. All right. Fine. I'll just go fuck myself. I'll just go fucking die because everybody hates me.
Oh my god!
Since everybody hates me,
you fucking
and you
drama
don't care
king.
about me, I'll just go.
Maybe you need a good cry.
How about I just go disappear in the woods?
Maybe you
That's a
need
sad
that.
thing to say. That's so just horrible.
Are you serious? Don't do that.
No, I'm not serious. What the fuck?
Why is it sad then?
Oh.
It's alright.
Yeah.
It's all jokes.
Yeah, it's true.
Stop it! Stop manipulating me!
I'm not manipulating you. So you want to go to the skate park then?
If you don't let me skateboard, I'm gonna run away into the woods and kill myself.
No, I didn't say that. Don't say that.
Okay.
Don't say that. I was talking about disappearing with the wood elves.
Starting a new life.
Damn.
Damn.
What's the worst date you've ever been on in your life?
The worst
one.
date. You know what's so sad is like
Hit me.
I've dated a lot of people, but I haven't been on very many dates.
Okay. So you've been on a few.
Yeah.
What was
All
the
right.
worst
So
one?
I guess the worst one. One time. This sucks because it wasn't even like that bad. Like the concept was fine, but the person just like completely missed the mark with me entirely. But one time someone asked me to meet up with them at a queer coffee shop, which I was like, that sounds cool. So I went and we got coffee and I was sitting there and they come over to me and they hand me an espresso and they had one too. And I was like, oh, you bought me an espresso. Thank you. But like, I didn't ask. They just like gave me it. And I was like, this is kind of odd, but okay. And then they talked to me for like 45 minutes to an hour about Harry Styles. And I was like, oh my god, I don't care at all.
What the fuck were they talking about Harry Styles?
They just fucking loved Harry Styles. It was around the time that Watermelon Sugar came out, I think. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were just talking about
What the fuck are you talking about?
Sugar.
That came out in like 2020.
Really?
We were dating then.
That's when that came out? No, it wasn't. Because this was in like 2019.
You going on dates behind my back?
No. This was in 2019.
Okay, maybe it did. I think you're going to have
Maybe
to
it
fact
wasn't
check
Watermelon
that.
Sugar. Maybe it
Fact
was that it
check
was
it.
gonna come out. Alright, I'll fact check it.
When did
They were
Watermelon
definitely
Sugar
talking
drop?
about Harry Styles, and I don't care. I don't really have anything against him, but I'm not like a...
Well, he wore a dress on the cover of a magazine. Didn't you hear about that?
Had that happened yet at that point? I don't know. This person
I'm sure
was
it
like
did.
over the moon. It was not taking any hints of me being like, yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Whoa, that's crazy. Whoa.
Yeah. That's not that bad, I guess.
Alright, when did it come out? Fucking tell me.
Let's see. Released 2019.
Alright. Okay.
2019.
You escaped justice this time.
In 2021, Harry Styles finally confirmed that Watermelon Sugar is about the female orgasm.
We don't need to... Oh, it's about orgasming?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I guess you did need to know that.
Well, I didn't. I thought you were gonna like read the fucking Wikipedia page for the single Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles.
Why would I do that? Do you want me to do
Exactly. That's why I was like,
I'll do
no,
that right
stop.
now.
No, don't.
Do you want the lyrics?
No. It's a good song though. I like Harry Styles. Theo, just don't. Aren't you gonna ask me what my worst date was?
What was your worst date?
What the fuck are you giving me that look for? What do you think I'm going to say? My worst date was when I was this is probably the worst date. I was about 16 and I had been texting and talking with this girl and like we were like, kind of like, talking like we were going to date or hook up or something.
Yeah.
We met up and we went behind Burger King in the woods and smoked a blunt. It was just a lot of weed that was far too potent to be smoked in the fashion that it was. Got way too fucking high. Couldn't talk to each other. Like we were so high that it was so awkward and so terrible. And then we went to my house and tried to like make out or something, but it was so awkward and weird because we were so high, and then she just went home.
That sucks.
Oh, it was so fucking bad.
Did you have another date after?
Not exactly. It's a long story that's not for the podcast, but that was the worst. That was the most embarrassing date ever because it was just foiled by being so high that it was just so like just I can't even describe like 'cause I know you know what I'm talking about because you probably experienced that.
Yeah.
Like that crippling high as shitness where it's like you just can't even like say anything and everything's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And everything's awkward and you just like
that sucks. That's terrible.
So I did that one. I don't know if I was actually 16. I might have been. I was probably younger than that actually. Anyway.
Probably didn't help.
Oh, it was so bad. That was so bad. Oh, I have an even worse date story that I don't even want to tell, but it was so bad.
Okay.
But I went to this girl's house and it was like in the middle of February, so it was like below 0 outside, and her friend were in the hot tub outside, and they were like, "Come in the hot tub!" Like it was like a cool novel idea, because where it's like, it's like 15 below or something, and it's a fun idea to be in a hot tub while it's freezing cold out.
Yeah.
So I did. I went in. It was awkward as fuck, because and then I got out. But as soon as I got out, something happened where I just instantly fainted. I fucking passed out.
Oh, you told me this before.
Hit my fucking like face off the ground. And
are you like in your underwear too?
Yeah, I was in my underwear because I didn't have a bathing suit.
What are you, like 14?
I was in the 8th grade. And so yeah, maybe. I don't know what 8th grade age is.
It's probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah, so then I fucking fainted, and then the two girls like were like panicking and trying to pick me up off the ground. They get me up, and then I faint again, and then they're like panic and like call their dad out of the house. Then the dad comes out and like
the dad was home while you guys were in the hot tub.
Yeah, and then he like picks me up on my arms or something and like drags me into the house and puts me in the bathroom to like try to get me to put my clothes on, and I was like delirious and didn't know where I was or who he was. And you know what else was happening?
What?
I was late for my curfew. I skipped out my curfew, and my dad was supposed to be picking me up, and he knew where I was, and I was ignoring his phone calls because I was delirious and passed out in my underwear while a girl's dad manhandled me to put my clothes back on.
And he didn't notice your phone ringing or like your dad outside or anything?
So then I finally left the house and got into my dad's fucking back of the car, and my dad just flipped the fuck out and was fucking screaming at me because I was so late and not answering.
And like soaking wet and
I like I think I just never talked to that girl again.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good way to handle it.
Yeah.
Just fucking walk it off.
Dude, it was devastating. It was so fucking embarrassing.
Nice. That's pretty bad.
Oh, that was so bad, man. I still feel embarrassed when I think about that. I don't think I told that story ever until I was like an adult too. Like it took like over 10 years to tell that story.
Oh man.
That's probably my most embarrassing like teenage moment, I bet.
Huh.
That might be up there that's definitely in the top 5 most embarrassing moments for me.
Huh. That's not that bad.
I know it isn't. Like it's like if, let's say for some reason I witnessed somebody else do that and that happened to another person, I'd
be so concerned.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, dude, you fucking pussy. Or like, that was so embarrassing that you did that. But
I think
yeah, it was like borderline traumatic at the time.
yeah, makes sense. When I was a kid, like a teenager, like a young teen and an older teen, I was so obnoxiously arrogant, I think, that I don't remember a lot of embarrassing things happening. But sometimes I'll go back through my journals and read shit that I did, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't think that was embarrassing at the time, but that's so embarrassing that I did that or said that.
And it's,
you know,
and and what's even more embarrassing than whatever it is you did was whatever wording you used to describe what you did. like you know, that only kind of like idiot tone that you can, the only idiot writing voice you can find in like a teenager's journal, where it's just like so cringe.
Oh man,
hilarious. What about? Okay, here's another question. Did you ever go to any high school parties? Did you hit a high school party?
I was homeschooled, Brian.
Yeah, but it didn't even. Okay, so we could.
I wasn't invited.
All right, so we can skip that question. All right, sorry.
They happened. They happened with my friends, but I wasn't there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I used to get not asked to parties a lot by people
Why?
that supposedly were my friends. I don't know.
Okay, do you want to skip over this?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll skip over this. I'm sorry.
I had parties sometimes in my house, but it wasn't really the same thing.
First kiss.
Oh man. Well, I was. Well.
Let's go. First kiss.
Like, what counts? Like
whatever you want. An innocent peck on the cheek the first time you did a romantic kiss. I don't fucking know. What do you fucking think it was?
I mean, there's like your first like real kiss, and there's like, you know, whatever.
Okay.
I guess both of them were with the same person, which was my first boyfriend when I was like 12. But we ended up dating for like 3 years too. I don't really remember most of it, which kind of sucks.
What was it like? Was it in like an unfinished basement while like Shrek played on the TV?
Oh god, that's so visceral. Like... That happened, but it wasn't the first one. No. Oh wait, actually, I don't want to go in too hard on this kid.
Fucking lay into him. I want to know everything.
Right. So my first kiss was, me and my friends, when I was 12 or 13, I was in this like homeschool group, and we used to do this thing. This is really niche, I guess, but we used to do this thing called Teen Connection. That was like parents on like homeschool forums and like homemade homeschool websites at the time used to get on email lists and just send out blasts when they were having like parties or events. And some people had like bigger houses or farms or something, and they would just have basically like weekly socials for homeschooled kids that were in the same age group.
Okay.
So this one was for teenagers, and it was near my house or whatever. So I went there, and there was a boy there that I liked a lot who ended up becoming my first boyfriend.
Cute.
And yeah, but you don't understand like the gossip mill of a homeschool friend group where all the moms are friends and all the kids are friends and they all hang out like in the same like room and yard.
Oh, sounds
the dating
poisonous.
Scene sucks. Everyone knew.
I bet. Probably not very much prospects.
Everyone knew that we liked each other for weeks. It was so stressful and bad. So basically, we like I wanted to like kiss him or something or like to flirt with him, but my mom was there. So like, you know,
right, not much
kind of weird
you can do about that.
Yeah. So at the end of one day, randomly, I didn't know this was happening at all. He just like ran up to me in front of everybody and like kissed me and then ran back to his car. But he like overshot it a little bit, like kind of headbutted me. I was like, whoa.
Was there a teeth clank?
It wasn't even, that was like a cheek kiss.
Oh,
it was just like a fucking headbutt attack cheek kiss.
That sounds cute.
It was kind of cute.
Sounds kind of sweet.
And then after that, everyone was cool with it. We started dating. And then a week later, him and his mom, I was chaperoned, took me to see Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And we made out in the bathroom.
Oh, in the bathroom?
Outside the bathroom.
Oh, I was going to say, it's kind of scandalous. In the bathroom?
Not in the bathroom. Like there was like an entryway thing.
Like a restroom hallway.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you mean.
So there was
kind of sweet.
Yeah, I guess so.
I like it.
And also, later on, might have been the same person. This was the worst date that I've ever been on, actually.
Oh, no. Oh, this is the real worst one.
I forgot that this happened. And it was really sweet at the time, but like in retrospect, it's like one of those memories that like doesn't lose any of the cringe the older you get. He was taking vocal lessons, and he was in a band that I don't remember the name of, but it was like something to do with narwhals or something, I think. And he had just learned the... We were in his laundry room, and he decided to serenade me by singing Yellow by Coldplay, but he sang the whole song a cappella while looking red in my eyes. It's like a 4-minute song. And I thought he was going to do it like a little bit, but then he like really got into it, and I was just like,
nodding and smiling and like thinking really hard about nodding and smiling and being like, wow. And I kept going, that's really cool, but he just wasn't stopping and he just sang the whole thing. And then I had to be like, that was great.
Can I interrupt with a pro tip for any singers or musicians out there
Don't
listening?
do that.
So here's the thing. You may run into a situation in your life where a small group of people at a party, fucking dinner, whatever, where someone busts out a guitar and says, "Oh my God, Theo, you gotta do a song. You gotta get blah, 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 blah." Or maybe it's even, "I'm gonna play a romantic song for a girl I like."
Yeah.
You know what's something that people don't fucking realize? Is that when you do that, if you say, "Oh, all right, guys, I'll do it," what you do is you just play a little bit of a song.
Yeah.
You play like 35 seconds max, and then like sing something, do something, sing like a little bit of the song and then sing the chorus
Yeah.
and then resolve it. And then everyone will go, "Oh my God, that was awesome." You don't just sit there and play a fucking 5.5-minute song or even a 3-minute song.
Oh my God.
If you're not on stage or something, don't play a whole song.
Yeah.
Like, guys, like, this is textbook. Just play a little bit and impress everybody, and then that's it. And everyone will be very happy for you.
In his defense, he was 13. So, and homeschooled.
Oh, dude, put on a song, play a song, for we gotta hear you sing, bro.
Yeah.
You just hit him. You just hit a little. You just get it. You just hit him with a little one.
Yeah.
You just give him a taste. That's all anybody's asking for. Right?
Jesus. Yeah, bad moment. But I also, like, I respect the audacity of doing that. Like, it wasn't even like there was a crowd or like he was amped up to do it. It was just us. I wasn't expecting it.
See,
It
that
was not asked for.
So it's embarrassing, but it would have been
It was sweet.
significantly less awkward and embarrassing if he had just done a little bit of the song.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to do an abridged version. That's all I'm saying.
Well, 3 years before that, he was 10.
Right. Yeah, so there's
So,
that.
Not a
There's
lot
that.
of time for like practice on this kind of situation.
Not a
I
lot of
guess.
time to learn any, like...
Imagine if you were 10 3 years ago.
Well...
We were dating 3 years ago.
I certainly wouldn't be here if I was 10 or 13 or whatever the fuck.
At the skate park?
I definitely wasn't at skate parks back then. I was street skating only, dog. There weren't fucking skate parks when I was 13.
You weren't singing Coldplay to girls.
There was probably
in
like
basements?
8 skate parks in the state when I was 13.
If we met when we were 13, would you have serenaded me?
I probably would have showed you my metal scream. I would have told you that I was working on my metal scream so I could start a black metal band with the homies.
I would have thought that was sick.
And then I would have been like, or some horrible thing. It would have been, yeah. I did that type of thing all the time when I was a kid. Or I would have been like, I can rap like every one of Eminem's songs or something.
Oh my God.
And I would have like rapped along to an Eminem song while looking you in the eye, and the song played through.
Can you do that now?
Maybe with a couple of the songs.
Do it.
No.
Not even a little bit?
Oh yeah, I can
Not
just
even
do
a little bit, yeah.
a little bit. No.
This is the perfect time.
No, not gonna happen. No, not even for the bit.
Not
this
even
time.
for the bit.
Not even. Oh.
Damn.
My first kiss, little more boring. See, I have 2 first kisses. I feel like, because I did have a
This is
sweet.
what I mean, yeah.
I did have a sweet moment when you're like really young and you're holding arm's length and you don't know how much you should hug, and then a girl kisses you on the cheek in the rain and Simple Plan is playing. I had one of those moments when I was in like 5th grade or something.
Yeah.
But the first time I like kissed in like a makeout way was I was in like 6th grade with a girl, and it was so weird because I don't know if you ever have shared this experience, but there were many times when I was first starting to date and kiss girls that I fucking would be with other kids my age that were all dating each other, and everybody would all be with their person in the same room kissing at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus.
I
Oh
had
my
so
God.
many moments like that, and that was my first time making out was in front of like 8 people who were also making out with each other
Yeah.
while like somebody's parents weren't home or something. And it was so, because you know what was so weird is I had imagined what it would be like so many times that for some reason I thought that that when you make out with somebody you turn your head to the right, and they both people, but she had kissed me and turned her head to the left. So then I was turning my head the way that I thought that it wasn't supposed to be or something.
Oh.
And I had like it gave me so much anxiety because I was like, this isn't how it's supposed to happen.
Oh my god, wait, this is sad.
I don't know why I thought that. What? What are you going to say?
I had a story queued for after your story in my head. And it's about, one time in like middle high school, I was like 15. I went to kiss this guy that I'd had a crush on for years. Like, I'd wanted to kiss him for so long. And I'd had other boyfriends and stuff. It just wasn't the right time. And then one time he finally, like, he did go to kiss me. And he did it just wrong. Like, it was just not right.
Oh,
There was
no.
just spit
What
all
did
over
he
my
do?
face. And
So was he tonguing it up?
No, he just, like, stuck his lips out too much. It was like a
Like a lip guy.
I don't know how to describe it for the
Okay.
listener, but it was like he was just sticking his lips out like you're gonna go like, but like trying to make out like that.
Like a cartoon kiss.
Yeah, and like it was like his first kiss probably, and I was like, all right, hold on, time out.
Oh no.
I was just like, listen, dude, I'm not judging you, like I get it, but I'm just gonna say like maybe do it like this. And I tried to show him, and he was like, no. I read an article online about how to do this before. He like got so irritated with me, and we got in a small fight, and I was like, I'm okay. And then I think we listened to like the Gorillas or something after that, and I went home.
Disaster.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Wow.
But that probably was his experience, that he was just having a fucking panic attack about it. And I was probably making it way worse by being like, no, poor performance. Do it again.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Wow.
Why did you want to talk about this today?
It was fun. Just having some fun.
It's like painful.
Yeah, that's the fun part. All right, I'm trying to think of another one. You got another question?
A different topic?
Yeah, hit us with a question.
What's the stupidest tattoo you've ever seen?
Just
On a real person.
seen?
Someone
in real life, though.
Yeah.
Okay, not online or anything. Okay, in real life, this is classic.
Is this too
Honestly, mine's a little bit judgmental. But I just know a guy who had no tattoos.
Mhm.
Like maybe he had like 1 or 2 or something. And then he just came out of the fucking cut with full knuckle tattoos that just said "don't care." Like he was my friend at the time, and he had just no tattoos. He was like 18 or something, and
That's
just got
funny as
and
fuck.
just got "don't care," and everyone was like, "Wow, dude,
That's
like
awesome.
you're a badass for that one." Like, and everybody, I think everybody talked about him behind his back and was like, "Dude, what a fucking idiot."
That's so funny.
Like this fucking moron just ruined his life. Like this guy's gonna be getting laser removal in like 5 years. That was the worst. I
he
think.
didn't care.
Yeah, he fucking did not fucking care at all. See, I've got no problem with crazy tattoos. I don't even have a problem with face tattoos, but I think that the tattoo just has to make sense for the person.
Yeah, it has to match your vibe. Was
Gotta
he
match
not
the
like
vibe.
a tattoo guy? Does he have
I
any
mean, I'm
tattoo
sure
style?
he is now. I haven't seen the guy in fucking 3,000 years, but like, I mean, at the time we were all kids,
Yeah.
and it was like just it made no fucking sense for this kid at the time.
Oh man.
I'm sure, I don't know, who knows what he's up to these days, but it was like so weird.
Damn.
It was just like, oh, and I have another friend that got I don't even know if I want to tell this story. It was so weird, but it was so funny. But me and a group of friends were all getting Friday the 13th tattoos.
Mhm.
And you know, Friday the 13th tattoos, but if the person who listening doesn't know, it's a flash sheet with just a bunch of doodles that a tattoo artist did, and you just pick one. You don't get to pick your own thing. You just pick something off the sheet, and then they fucking do it.
It's usually pretty small, like line work.
It's pretty small, and you pay like $20 or something, whatever. But we were at the shop, and one of my friends was not satisfied with the flash sheet, and really wanted to get a tattoo anyway. So he decided to cough up like an extra $100-something to get a tattoo on the spot. No, you know what it was? Is he actually picked something off the flash sheet and was like, you know what, I'll get that, but I can't get it in black and white. He was like, no way. So the tattoo artist charged him like $100 to do it in color.
They probably hated him.
And it was like a 2 by 2 inch. I actually shouldn't describe the tattoo, maybe, but it was like a 2x2 inch tattoo the size of like a fly. Like it was like just in the middle of his forearm here. And it was like somebody photoshopped it onto him. Actually, it was like a tiny sword. Like just a tiny sword in the middle of his arm in full color.
Just like a water tattoo?
For like over $100.
Like a temporary?
Like it looked like a sticker. Like it looked like he put a little sticker on his arm.
Oh,
and
man.
Everybody was like, dude, everybody there, the whole group thought it was horrible. But everybody just hyped him up and
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
dude, like, hey, that's cool, man. I feel so bad. I hope he never listens to this because he will know exactly I'm talking about him. I would feel so bad.
You could edit it out.
No, I won't because it's funny. But
Fuck him, I guess.
I guarantee this guy does not listen to our show. Let me say that at least.
I feel...
Worst tattoo you've ever seen?
Worst tattoo I've ever seen. I'm trying to think. Damn.
We can go back to it.
I know that I know people that have bad tattoos. I have some bad tattoos.
Now you just don't want to shit on take a shit on someone's life who might hear this.
Well, the thing is, I'm the kind of person that, like, if somebody gets a tattoo that really fucking sucks, I think that's so funny. So I usually don't, like, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think.
I have the word fuck tattooed on my leg upside down.
I was there for that. We did that.
I wrote
in
it
your room.
Yeah. Yeah, we were tattooing each other, doing a little tattoo sesh.
That was a wild time.
It was fun. I mean, it was like the least scandalous at-home tattoo session I've ever been a party to.
It was a brand new tattoo gun, all sterile stuff, and we
were being like totally cool, and like it wasn't
still probably sketch, but
I mean, I got a fucking stick and poke tattoo on my arm in my bedroom when I was like 19, and the thing turned into a baseball. It was purple and infected. It was like,
how did you manage that?
I was like about to become gangrenous,
dude. I have so many
just
stick
being
and
a
pokes,
dumbass,
and none
I
of them
guess.
have gotten infected. Thank God.
Yeah, I think I was just an idiot. Just being a dumbass, really.
What's my stupidest tattoo?
What is your stupidest tattoo, in your opinion?
I feel like the obvious answer is the huge thigh piece of Godzilla that I have.
You got a big ass Godzilla tattoo. That's
reason-
probably something that nobody who listens to this knows about you.
It's like fucking like 6 inches wide.
It's pretty big.
It's my
pretty
whole
large.
thigh,
It's a thigh piece of Godzilla.
There's a story behind that though. So I fucking had like a Godzilla phase where I was like so fucking into Godzilla. It's like, you know when you turn 20 and you just decide you're obsessed with this thing that's like, you feel like it's kind of niche. Like some people like go hard for Bart Simpson. Some people go hard for like Barbie. It's like you just get merch of that thing all the time.
Yeah,
Troll doll aesthetic. I was Godzilla.
Right, like a Jack Skellington person.
No, ew.
No, I'm not saying that's
offensive.
I'm not saying that's like you.
What the fuck?
You never met somebody that was just about Nightmare Before Christmas?
I mean, yeah. Different
That's
category.
an example of what you're talking
Not
about.
the same.
Somebody that gets into a thing and
No.
wears merch of it.
Not what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You
I'm
hate
not saying
me, I guess.
I'm not saying you're like. What's up with the Jack Skellington person slander? I will slanderize that type of person.
I will
as well.
too.
I don't care. I don't know. I like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a great movie.
It's giving gas station though.
We can live. All right. We
We
should stop this part.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna get offensive if we keep going with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my aesthetic. Whatever, to each their own.
What do you? All right,
Godzilla's not even really my aesthetic anymore either. But I was going hard for that for a while, and I told my mom one day. I think when I first had the idea, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I want a Godzilla tattoo. And I was talking to my mom about it. I have like 19 tattoos, and at the time I probably had like 10 of them. And I was like, I want to get a Godzilla tattoo, but I don't know what I should get. Like, what do you think? I was just talking to her about it. And she was like, do not get that. You will regret it. And I was like, Mom, I have already like 10 tattoos. Like, I don't think it's that deep. And she was like, I don't think so. I think that you're going to regret it. That's a stupid idea. And I was like, all right, whatever. She was like, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I don't think you should. And I was like, okay. So I decided that I would wait 2 years. And if I still wanted it after 2 years, then I was going to get it. But then it became like a thing where I was like, I do want that tattoo. Fuck you, Mom. Like, I'm going to wait 2 years. I'm going to get that tattoo in 2 years. And by the time it happened, it was like 2 years later. I was like 20. And I was like, I still fucking like Godzilla. I wasn't really that into Godzilla anymore, but I really wanted the tattoo. And I had this plan for like a while. And there was this tattoo artist who I used to get a lot of my pieces from, who has moved away now. But he was leaving, and it was the last month he was going to be around, and he posted a thing saying he would do discounted tattoo for anyone who wanted a monster piece. So I got a giant thigh piece of Godzilla from this tattoo artist to prove my point, and then I got it, and I went home, and I realized that there's a huge glaring line work error in the middle of it, and he has like 5 fingers.
Yeah, he gave the guy gave him an extra finger or something. Yeah.
He has 5 fingers and a thumb.
Dude.
And I was like, damn, I'm a fucking idiot.
Fuck, man.
And it's my whole thigh. And it's the only piece in that style that I have also.
You know, I got a tattoo on my leg that was like it's like a fairly it's like a medium-sized tattoo. It's not like giant, but it's like a American traditional picture of a woman's face in black and white.
Yeah.
And this tattoo artist was a great guy. He did a great job, whatever. But he started shading the face without telling me. Like, he went off-road and did shading that didn't appear on what was agreed upon.
That sucks.
And just shaded the face. Not gonna lie, not like no hate, shaded the face so badly, and I hated it. I watched him do it, and my dumbass just said nothing.
What can you do?
I just watched this guy fucking take a shit on the cool line work thing that had already been done. But you know, on a positive note, it's one of those tattoos where I don't even remember that I have it. Like, if you if you asked me like 2 weeks from now to name all of my tattoos, I might even forget to mention that one. Like, I like it, but I don't ever even think about the fact that I have it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Like, it's so funny because people, I don't know if you identify with this, but when I was growing up, my mom was like, she's not anti-tattoo, but she was always like, you gotta think, you'll regret it. It's gonna be on you for the rest of your life. You know, she was like really trying to like, you know, scared straight me about tattoos or something for some reason.
You specifically?
I don't know. Probably all my siblings. Me and Jill and Liam are the only ones with them. Kim doesn't have any tattoos. No, Kim does have a fucking tattoo, I think.
Really?
I actually can't even remember. But whatever. Maybe we all have tattoos. But I actually never even think about any of the tattoos I have.
I don't either.
Like, the whole idea of it, like, being there forever, like, it's just not that's not really real to me at all.
Well, it's also, like, I think it is a little bit of a difference between our parents' generation and ours in the sense that, well, I guess it depends how old your parents are, because I feel like Gen X is a little like this too, but, like, if your parents are boomers, most of them don't have, like, a shit ton of tattoos. Like, maybe they'll have, like, 1 or 2, but most people don't have anything, and it's, like, kind of a big deal to get one or whatever. But, like, I feel like if you're, like, 25 right now, like, most people have at least one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're in, like, art or music.
Yeah, I think people who don't even have a single tattoo might be in the minority.
They're, like, more rare, at least with all people.
Yeah, so, you'll definitely meet, like, just some random straight-laced, like, random, like, person who lives in, like, Dorchester. Who moved there a year ago. Yeah. Has like an amazing apartment. And his name's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Never mind. I don't know, like just some like random like rich Christian guy. Makes sense that someone like that wouldn't have a tattoo or something.
Or even not even rich if it's like, I don't know. Whatever. I feel like a lot more people in like art and music do that without really caring.
Yeah.
But and like piercings too, I think. But yeah.
I went down the piercing road. I stretched my ears pretty big.
I did that.
I stretched them regrettably big. Now I just have, you know, holes in my ears. I could probably stick a pencil in my ear and if comfortably, like they're like that big. And I pierced my nose.
Yeah.
And I do not wear any of those things anymore. And if I didn't stretch my ears in high school, I would never do it now.
Yeah.
So that I low-key vaguely regret stretching my ears. I don't actually care that much because, like, what am I going to do? Wear an earring? But, like, you know, I don't know, fucking know. It's not like a big deal.
I stretched my ears when I was in high school, then sized them down and they went back to normal. And then I stretched them again at the end, like after high school. I was like 18 or 19. And then I sized them down again. And then in 2020, I stretched my ears again during quarantine. And they didn't really go back to normal totally, but I can wear normal earrings still. I never went over like a 00.
All right, you want to hit a new question?
Okay.
Tell me about your first friend that wasn't in your family.
Ever?
Yeah, your first homie, your first buddy.
Wow.
Who was it? Name them.
So
Dox this motherfucker.
my first ever friend, I actually don't remember which one I met first, but I had two best friends when I was a little girl that I met. I met both of them in Girl Scouts, I think at the same time. And we were a little friend group, and their names were Megan and Samantha. And we used to talk on three-way phone calls on the home phone almost every night, or like AIM Messenger, Facebook Messenger. And we used to hang out pretty often, and I was friends with them like consistently, probably until I was like 10 or 11 years old. So probably a good like 4 or 5 years. I was like
What were they like?
7 or whatever. I remember Samantha. I actually am still Facebook friends with both of them, so I know what they're like now too. So that might be bleeding into my memory of them then. But Samantha was always really into music and could sing really, really well. And was really into country and Broadway. And we both were really, really into the Twilight series. That might have been when we were a little bit older. I was friends with her for a long time. Actually, I think I was friends with both of them until I was like 12 or 13. And then we kind of just made other friends. But we were both really into Twilight. And her mom, or I mean, she and her family lived close to us. And we used to run into her and her mom at Walmart all the time. So I would see her randomly throughout the week, like a lot.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So that was her. And then Megan, my other friend, also had a younger sibling who was the same age as my younger sibling, and they were friends. So they used to come over to my house pretty often. She was also in Girl Scouts, and she played tuba, I think. It's kind of random. I never saw her tuba, but I know that she did.
This is like, it sounds like a sweet story. They sound like nice kids.
They're nice. They're
They
both
sound
nice
like
people
they
too
were
as
nice
adults.
friends that
Yeah.
you had, yeah. Huh. My first friend that I can remember, I think, was in kindergarten, but I don't remember if I maybe had some friends before that. Because outside of family, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think it was this kid named Joe. And I don't remember why I liked him or if we hung out ever outside of kindergarten. But I remember I was always fucking hyped to go to kindergarten to hang out with my homie Joe. And then one time he came in with a new haircut where he had his bangs were sticking up, spiked up bangs with a wax stick.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking like hyped on that haircut that I begged my mom to give me the same haircut.
Oh.
And I came into school next time just with the fucking haircut that he had.
You just copied his hair.
Yeah. I was like, dude, we're homies. We're fucking best friends and we have the same haircut.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think he was excited too. We were just boys with the same haircut.
That is so cute.
That's so funny.
That's really cute.
I don't know why. I don't know. And then like 9/11 happened or something.
Ruin the vibe.
Ruined the vibe with the haircut, yeah. We had shaved our bangs off after 9/11.
You were in kindergarten for 9/11?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, let's talk about it. Where were you on 9/11? I'll go first. In front of the TV, because I was in afternoon kindergarten, so I was home all morning with my mom, and the fucking TV was on, and I was playing with Mega Bloks. If you remember Mega Bloks, they were just scaled up Legos.
Yeah.
And the phone rang, and my mom picked up the phone and said, her friend said, "Turn on the phone, turn on the TV, we're under attack." And then I watched 9/11 on TV with my mom.
Live?
When I was yeah.
Wow.
I just watched 9/11 in kindergarten.
Did you know what was going on?
No, I didn't understand. I didn't know. I remember vividly watching the burning building and smoking building on TV though. And I was just like, yeah, like I didn't, how could I know that anybody? I didn't understand even even a scintilla what was happening.
So I was.
That's where I was on 9/11.
I was 4 for 9/11. I just turned 4.
Wow.
So I have a memory of what happened, but I think it might be fabricated from being told what happened.
Right.
But I was at my house because I wasn't I was gonna say I wasn't school age yet, but I was at my house in school too. But I was at my house, and my younger sibling was supposed to be going to Mommy and Me dance class. And my dad called my mom and was like, "You're not gonna believe this, but someone just flew a plane into the World Trade Center. Don't go to dancing school. And she was like, they're not going to fly to the dancing school. Shut up.
Oh my god.
And he was like, no, don't. And they had a like argument
She
about.
was right though.
Well, she was panicking too, but she was like, I don't know, like it doesn't make sense that they would do that. But then we decided to stay, but then she was like, let's just go about the day. And we went to dancing school, but then all the moms there that had shown up were like really anxious because some of the moms didn't because they were worried about it. And then they were watching it on the screen in the waiting room while the kids were doing bunny hop dance. And I think we went home early, but I was hanging out with my friend in the waiting room who was a sibling of one of the other kids.
Mm.
I don't remember who that person was.
Just like
though.
wearing like a ballerina fucking costume or something.
Who knows? I don't know.
You would never know.
I don't even really remember.
Yeah.
I just know that I was at a
just
dancing
pictured
school.
that because of dance school. Don't like kids in dance school wear like little dance costumes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't dancing though. I was just along for the ride.
Gotcha. Did you ever get in any fights? You
Like
ever
verbal?
You ever get in a fist fight when you were a kid?
No.
Not even like a tumble with a sibling.
I've gotten into me and my siblings closer in age to me, Emerson, have gotten into fights before when we were really young because we shared a room the whole time we were growing up.
Oh, that's tough.
We shared a room until I was like 19.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've gotten in plenty of fights.
Mm.
But
Did you guys have like a fucking cubicle wall in between?
yeah,
Really?
Actually-
A cubicle wall.
it was a changing screen.
Okay.
Yeah. That was when we were a little older though. When we were kids, we had duct tape. We had a duct tape fucking line through the middle. And it was so funny because I was like kind of a messy kid, but we used to get like chores were so fucking serious in my house because it's not like you could like run to school and avoid them. Like you were there.
Oh.
You were in it. And if you're not doing your
Damn.
homework, if you're not doing your chores, you're fucking in trouble with one person.
That's brutal, man.
So, my room was a mess a lot, but Emerson was, they will contest this, I'm sure, but messier than me. So
Mm.
sometimes we had this bright red duct tape line down the middle of our tiny little bedroom. And my half would be clean and I'd sweep the line like just right up to the duct tape line. And there'd just be like a messy floor on the right hand side of it and the left hand side would be my floor. And then Emerson would clean their room afterwards and just shove all the shit onto my side of the line and we'd get in like screaming fights about it.
Oh my
but-
god.
We didn't usually, we weren't really like physical most of the time, but I think there might have been a time that like we slapped each other around over that probably.
Oh yeah, like maybe like one kid like says something mean, runs away, and then you like give them a 5-star slap on their back as they run away, and then you get in fucking huge trouble.
Do you want to hear something terrible?
Yeah.
He's probably gonna be mad at me for telling the story on the air, but this doesn't reflect how he is now. But when Noah, my youngest sibling, was a little kid, he got in a fight with Emerson, my other sibling. Noah must have been like, I was probably like 14 or 15, so Noah was like 9 or 10, and he got wicked mad at Emerson and wanted to call them the meanest thing that he could think of to call them. So he called them a slut.
Oh my god.
And Emerson just fucking rocked him, and he started crying because my mom came in the room right as Noah got punched. And Emerson was like, he just called me a slut. And he goes, I said slug! I said slug! And he started crying. And my mom was like, shut up. Like, both of you shut up. And they both got in trouble. And I just got to watch. I just sat there watching.
Oh man.
He doesn't like when I talk about that one.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be
Little
ashamed of myself too.
Anti-feminist moment with him.
Yeah. I wouldn't actually be ashamed. I'm just kidding. I can't remember if I got in any early fights with my siblings. I mean, we obviously did get in like, little kid scraps because there was 4 of us growing up in the house. So it's like, you butt heads, and we're all like, all of us are super close in age.
Mm.
So we were all little kids at the same time, basically. I think the first fight I got in outside of all that, though, was, I don't even have any idea why. Looking back, I can see why this happened. But basically, I had a bunch of friends who convinced me that some other kid that we went to school with was talking shit about me and wanted to fight me. And I was in 6th grade and he was in like 7th grade. And I was like, bet. And so we all met up at the fucking basketball courts. And then like some loser friends that I had like brokered it basically and got his group to agree to the terms. And I agreed to, and we're going to fight. And I don't have any idea why, I think everything my friends told me about it was not true, and that all of my friends were just instigating because they all wanted to see a fight happen.
That sounds
And that
accurate.
kid's friends probably just wanted to see a fight happen, so they just convinced us to fist fight in the schoolyard. And I remember it was like freezing cold, and I left my house with no jacket or sweatshirt, so I was so cold
Oh,
and
you
just wearing a
idiot.
t-shirt in like February or something. Classic 12-year-old move. Yeah, and then we fought, and I think the kid like punched me in the face a bunch of times. And when I tried to punch him, I just like punched his fists or something because he was like a way bigger kid than me. And he just
Oh.
like fucked me up pretty good. And that was it. And it was like I couldn't even believe that it happened because like I didn't even know why I was in a fist fight at all.
And then you just went home.
And I just went home.
You just like walked out for your ass kicking appointment in your t-shirt.
Well, I think I just wanted to like impress all the older kids, and there was probably
Oh.
girls there, and I wanted to look like a cool, tough guy. And I don't know, I didn't have any self-worth or self-respect. I was like a young,
Yeah.
insecure kid, and I wanted to get in a fight to be a tough guy.
Oh.
It's really normal. I think most people or a lot of people do that kind of thing when they're
Yeah.
in high school or middle school or something. Oh yeah, but it was so bad. I think it like radicalized me though, because I think the friend group I was in were just a group of bad eggs and rotten kids because there was just a different fight behind the school like every week.
Mm.
Like everybody was.
Do you believe in rotten kids?
Not really. I believe in kids that are. I think that there are many. I don't think there are bad kids,
Yeah.
but I think there are kids that are just absolute little shits, just little fucking pukes. I think those kids are out there. I don't think they're bad or irredeemable. I don't think that even makes sense to think that a kid could be bad or irredeemable.
Yeah.
But I think, this is a bad comparison. No, I'm not going to make the comparison.
What's the comparison?
I was going to say it's kind of like dogs or like their owner makes them bad.
Interesting.
But
Kind of harsh, but I get it.
But that's not really true because a dog sadly can get to a point where it can't be changed.
Mm.
You can like fuck up a dog and it can't be saved because it's an animal. This is a
Interesting.
little too dark, but that's never true for a human, in my opinion, no matter what.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's why humans aren't dogs.
Nice.
So I got a little dark. I got a little fucking dark there.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to.
Huh.
All right, here's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever peed yourself as an adult?
No, have you?
Never? Not even once?
Have you?
Not really as an adult. Maybe as like a teenager. No, in my 20s, no. Straight up, I don't think I have.
What's the most recent time?
I think, not that I don't know if I can remember if there was, but sometimes when I was like 16 and I was still drinking alcohol,
Oh,
I would just get drunk and pee myself.
that sucks.
It would happen so often, and it was like, it is what it is. I just pee myself a lot. You're making a face like you feel so bad for me, like you just want to say, "Oh." Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Fuck. This is supposed to be a light and fun thing, and I made it I got a little dark.
Do you think talking about teenage stuff gets a little dark for you sometimes?
Yeah, sadly, I think that it sucks, but it's true. Also, every single time I'm ever in like a fun conversation with people and everyone's telling funny stories from teenage years, whenever I chime in, I make it a little weird.
I feel that.
Have you ever heard of a show called Silicon Valley?
I've heard of it.
There's a character in that show that every single time he talks, it's his funny comedic thing that he says some like bizarre traumatic thing. He's like, "Oh, when I was a kid, I was in an orphanage in Iowa where they sprayed us with hoses," and that's like a rim shot moment.
Yeah.
I feel like that guy sometimes, where I just will try to be like, "Oh yeah, dude, I remember 6th grade, I like blacked out on vodka at my friend's stepdad's house. None of my friends were there though; it was just me and him."
Is that true?
No, I made that up. Thank God I made that up. That did not happen.
It's just me.
But I feel like that's the kind of thing I feel like that's how I sound sometimes.
Well, I get that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing about being a teenager in a situation like that, like if that's your circumstances, is that you feel so helpless. You just have a tendency to probably want to make it worse. Where
Sure.
you can be a adult that has lived that life when you were a kid and have your adulthood be much better because you have the autonomy to actually do nice things for yourself, you know?
I feel like it's similar to, I don't even know what philosopher said this fucking thing, but you know how there's that like fucking, what is it, like Plato's fucking cave or some shit? Like there's like something where they talk about men in a cave and they only stare at the wall and see the shadows
Yeah.
and they have no idea what anything looks like because they've only
Allegory
ever
of the
seen,
cave.
yeah, whatever that is. I think that's just what being a kid is like, where you have absolutely nobody on earth could even explain to you. You could never truly understand in any way, conceivable way, that you won't be a teenager
Yeah.
in the future. Like that you'll change, you'll be 30, like your brain will fucking grow in, you'll like learn how to cook, you'll like have a job or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is not even like like when I was like fucking 15 or 16, dude, like you couldn't even like, people would always try to explain to me like, you know, you're gonna have a future, like you're gonna need a job, like, you know, people would do that kind of thing to me every day pretty much. But I would always just instantly like I would just disassociate anytime anyone said anything to me like that.
You can't tell me I'm not listening.
Yeah, exactly, where I'd just be like, okay, I just like basically just clock out of my own mind and wait for them to stop talking.
Yeah.
So, which is what every kid does, obviously, when you talk to them like that. But yeah, it's like whatever that fucking cave allegory thing is. I think that's what that's like, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like when I talk to people about being a kid, like you just can't get around the fact that the homeschooling thing's a little weird. Nobody ever is like normal about that, and it just is what it is because it's kind of weird. So
it's kind of like a Rorschach test, or like, well, no, that's a wrong metaphor. No, it's kind of like a good judge of character, though. Like it's a good way to test somebody that if you tell them that, depending on how they respond, you can instantly decide if they're a cool person or not. Because if somebody like completely disrespects you or says something like really out of pocket about it, then you're like, you're a dick.
Well, most people don't do that anymore. I used to encounter that a lot more growing up as a kid in the 2000s and 2010s, where people's parents would say fucked up shit to me about like, is your mom allowed to do that? Like, are you getting educated? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. Maybe I'm not.
11.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I know?
Do you know what an existential crisis that is to put on a kid? Like, does your 11-year-old know if they're getting educated at the fucking charter school they're in? No. I don't fucking know. I had this like secret fear until I started college that I just didn't actually know anything that other people knew.
Yeah.
And I actually did. It was like fine.
You knew all that and more, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Because that's the thing. I've told you this and I'm sure a million people have told you this kind of thing, but I went to regular school my whole life and I've met people that are like dumber than a rock.
Yeah.
That graduated from a school that don't know fucking anything.
Yeah, but on the flip side, like I've known a lot of different kinds of homeschoolers and unschoolers and alternative educated people throughout my life. Like even after homeschooling, like you tend to just kind of run into them and talk to them about this shit. Like it's just kind of a thing that you have in common that is never going to not be a thing you have in common. And I know some people that did not have like any kind of like support educationally that did completely fine. Some people had a lot of support and didn't do very well, regardless of what system they were in or if they weren't in one at all. And some people were really smart kids that didn't get the resources they needed and had to deal with that later. So it's a complicated thing.
Yeah. And it's not even remotely a one-size-fits-all thing, or
it really just depends.
Yeah. You can't, it's hard to compare or to, it's impossible and disrespectful to generalize.
Yes. Yeah. Because you're kind of talking about parenting more than you are education.
Right.
Because the education part is somewhat mandated by the state, depending on the state you're in, but at least around here it is. But the style of how you're educated and whether or not it's like actually happening and like all of that stuff really depends on the parenting style of that kid's parents.
Yeah.
And if you ask a kid, like, are your parents good parents? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, a kid's not supposed to think about that. Kid's not like, I mean, like in a perfect world, a kid would never have to think about that. That's
yeah.
You're supposed to like believe in Santa.
Yeah.
Not fucking worry about some crazy thing that some like random adult poisoned you into thinking, you know?
Well, if you're a little kid, like in my experience, I didn't really think about that stuff when I was that young. Like when I was in grade school and shit, I was just like, this is just how it is. Like whatever. I'm probably like a little insecure about it sometimes because it's like I didn't know a lot of other people that were homeschooled. But then as I got older, like I was saying, that was not the case anymore. But it's kind of like late high school is when it gets kind of weird, or at least it did for me, because your friends that are in school are like getting scouted for colleges and thinking about like what comes next and like going to trade school or looking at art schools or like figuring out like what they want to do, like if they're getting a job or whatever. And it's like very forward focused and future focused, and suddenly the education and the grades matter. And if you just don't know where you stand, that can be kind of weird. Even though I was actually fine and I like it didn't actually matter, there is this nagging feeling in the back of your head put there by all the people who have asked you if it's actually fine, of like maybe it isn't actually fine, you know? Which that's not any fault of my parents, I don't think. I think that's just like when people think something is weird, they'll tell you it's weird until part of you believes it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So then now as an adult, when I'm like, when someone is like, oh, like, do you remember prom or whatever? And it just like comes up and I'm like, oh, I didn't actually go to school. People look at you like they don't know how to respond. And sometimes they don't know how to respond and it's fine and they end up being cool about it. And sometimes they don't know how to respond because they think that's weird. It just is what it is.
When I was growing up, I had 2 cousins that were homeschooled. And when I was a kid, I literally didn't even know they were homeschooled.
Really?
Yeah, like we would like play with them and shit, or like, you know, go to my fucking uncle's house for some reason.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I like my mom told me, and I was like, what?
Oh.
They were?
Huh.
Yeah, I had no clue.
That's interesting that it didn't come up.
It didn't. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure my parents fucking, you know, I'm sure everybody else knew, but I mean, they were like close to the same age as me, so like I don't think I had any like, I don't know. I mean, actually, no, they weren't. They were a little older than me. So maybe when I was playing with them, I was like young in a sense that I wouldn't even think to say, like, you know, because if I had known them when I was like, because I was, a little bit of lore required, but I only really saw my dad's side of the family when I was really young. But then once we got older, then we never saw them.
That makes sense.
So not a lot really.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of interesting. Homeschooling is a, it's just too abstract.
You can't really generalize it.
You can't generalize.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like it's something that was a core facet of my lifestyle for a long time. I'm also the oldest in my family, so that was another weird thing of like I mean, it's a joke, but it's also kind of true that I was like the guinea pig kid, where it's like, hopefully this works out.
That's an interesting child archetype. I've never thought about it like that before. People talk about the middle child and the baby.
Yeah.
But the guinea pig kid is an interesting...
well, people joke about that with oldest children anyway, but if you're pulling them out of the school system entirely, that's... The philosophy was like, we'll do this until it doesn't work, and it just kind of always did. But that means that even when I graduated high school, homeschooling was still a big part of my life until my youngest brother graduated, which is 5 years after me.
Right.
So...
how the fuck did your mom transition out of that? We don't have to get into all that actually, if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's like crazy to... Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 20-year run altogether, probably.
That's fucking gnarly, dude. I love talking about this with you too. I think it's really interesting because I think one of the first things that we bonded over was you like just giving me all the lore and and all the stories and like and you're like giving me like all of this information about the different types of homeschooling, different theories, different like, and I was like, I've never fucking heard about any of this because we were like just talking on the phone for like hours and you're like, oh yeah, you ever heard of the Feingold diet or like and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah,
it was fun. It was like I love thinking about that stuff and talking about it now because of you, because of that time, you know.
Well, it's nice. It's weird because it's like I don't know. I don't mind talking about it sometimes, but I also like it's not my philosophy. It's kind of my like culture in a way, I guess. Like it feels like a very dramatic word for it, I guess.
Who can choose where they're born or how they grow up? You just don't. You spawn.
But it's a really unique thing because it's like my parents were never homeschooled students.
Yeah.
They were homeschooled parents. So even when I say it's like my cultural background, like it's like first and only generation of that background. You know what I mean?
That is a very interesting way to put it.
Like, I don't know that my siblings and I will do that. It's a huge commitment and it's a lot of work, and it's like kind of like my mom put 20 years into that. I'm not probably going to do that. Not for any particular reason, but that's like, I don't know, that's a lot. It's like a career path in a way from the parents' perspective. So if one of us does homeschool their kids, that would be really interesting, because that would be somebody who had experienced it from the student perspective doing it from the teacher perspective, and it would be interesting to see how that affected the kids too. I think my mom did a really good job, but it is interesting that that's something that we shared in a way, but there are also facets of it that she can't relate to because that wasn't her lived experience. And that's most homeschoolers. I don't know anybody who's a second generation homeschooler. And actually, I think I know one person who was homeschooled who has a kid, but it's kind of not super common for people in our generation to have kids at our age right now.
Yeah, that's fucking ass. That sucks so bad.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's weird because I don't really consider myself like a big spokesperson on it, because people always ask me about it and they're like, well, how did your mom get qualified to do that? Like, what curriculum did she use and whatever? And like, I do know that stuff because I was around my mom doing it with my younger siblings, and like I know kind of what she did, but I'm not, like, I wasn't on that end of it. It's like asking somebody what the structure is as a teacher because they went to a charter school. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know.
It's interesting too because I mean it's invasive. It's invasive also because there's a little bit of a crossover where it's completely normal to ask people about their education, or like, oh, did you go to public school, or oh, you went to Catholic school, or you know, it's like nothing wrong with that. But it would be fucked up to go up to somebody and be like, so how did your parent act when you were a child?
Yeah.
Like, what was your dad like? Was your dad a good father when you were 12?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't fucking ask somebody that.
But
Maybe
also,
if it was somebody that you knew in a legitimate way personally.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't like be at the water cooler at your job asking somebody about their childhood.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
it could be weird.
Yeah, I just think that it's intimate.
It is.
And intimate questions are for intimate relationships.
Well, the other thing that people don't understand too is like a lot of people will then carry that over and be like, or they'll talk to me and be like, oh yeah, I know about that because I have a friend that's homeschooled. And I'm like I'm always curious to hear more about that. It's not like it's something that's not welcome, but that doesn't mean that you know anything about how I was homeschooled. Like,
yeah.
You don't know my mother.
You don't. You
know
just
what I mean?
don't. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
So fuck off, haters. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I don't really consider myself a spokesperson for it.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But you do, is the thing.
Huh.
I will never not be.
Interesting.
That's the other thing.
Huh.
So I feel like that, to get back to the original point, like when people ask me about high school and being a kid, it's always weird. Which is, it's like, not in a terrible way, I guess, but in a way that kind of terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you deserve to say that it's terrible if you feel that way.
I don't know. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I really enjoy talking about it. When I do like talking about it, yeah. I also like talking about it to other people that had been homeschooled, because that's always really interesting. I think I've told this story before, but my favorite experience with that was I told a friend of mine, or an old coworker, that I'd been homeschooled, and it was the first time, like, in my life, I think, that I randomly came across somebody in like a random avenue of my life I didn't expect, who had been homeschooled in the same style that I was.
Wow.
And he looked at me and he was just like, I feel like I can tell based on like different things that you've said that you liked when you were a kid, because we've just been talking about like books and stuff. And he was like, do you know what a drop spindle is? And I was like, yes, I fucking do. I know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
You use it to
I'm a plebeian who learned about.
It's a wooden hand tool used to card. You card wool and then use a drop spindle to spin the wool into something you could knit or crochet with when you get it raw from the sheep.
Hardcore, dude.
If you
some fiber art shit.
It's like a Crunchy Mom farm volunteer shift kid thing to know.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that. That must have been really cool to make that connection in such a surprising way, though.
It was wicked funny.
At such an unexpected time as well.
Yeah. It's funny too, because maybe it's obvious this would happen, but Since I've been working in the art sector, I've met randomly. I have like a bunch of homeschooled coworkers. It's like these people would wind up here.
They
You
would.
know what I mean?
They would.
Most of the adult homeschoolers that I know that went the college route anyway, that like have like academic careers right now, are in like they're historians or they're like artists.
They're in the humanities in some way.
Yeah. Okay, last question.
Okay.
When you were actually at any point in your life, tell me about your favorite article of clothing that stands out more than anything else and why you loved it.
Oh, that's kind of a fun question. Okay. I have a funny story about this.
Okay.
So I was a big Hot Topic emo kid.
Mhm.
So I had spike belts and fucking a Naruto headband and like Insane Clown Posse t-shirts.
Mhm.
The works. But I also had... So you remember when sweatbands were a thing?
Yeah.
Like on your wrist, like a wristband, like a
Mhm.
wrist sweatband.
Yeah.
I had one of those that just had a red anarchy symbol on it. So it was a black sweatband with a red anarchy symbol.
Yeah.
And I wore it every motherfucking day for years, all through elementary school and middle school. And I put my own spikes on it, different colored spikes, studs, and shit like that. Constantly wore it with every outfit.
Yeah.
It was prized possession. I think I might have given it to my friend Rachel years and years ago because I didn't wear it anymore and it was sentimental to her, so whatever. But
Aww.
I remember this one time. This is just a story related to it, but this kid I went to school with showed up to school one day in like 7th or 8th grade or something, 6th or 7th grade, and he was wearing a band t-shirt, a zip-up hoodie exactly how I wore it, Converse and jeans exactly what I would wear, and my exact same Anarchy sweatband bracelet with spikes put on it.
What the fuck?
He just completely copied my entire outfit and then showed up to lunch and sat with us, and me and my friends.
Maybe he was trying to be your friend.
And everybody just went silent as soon as he sat down. And it was so awkward, and everybody was so embarrassed and had no idea what to do.
Oh no.
And then he just left lunch. And then
No.
then I don't know what happened after that.
You don't know what happened?
Like he didn't like die. He was like still at school, but like I don't know. Nobody ever talked about it. It was just it was too embarrassing to address.
It was like so obvious that it was actually ripping off your look. Because when you're
Yeah.
telling the story and you're describing like the skinny jeans and the Converse,
Of course, everybody wore that.
Not,
Everybody wore that.
yeah,
But he wore the same
the exact
identical
thing.
including a unique item
Like the token item
that I wore every day and personally customized.
Oh
And he
my
personally
God.
customized the exact same item in the same way.
That's crazy. Wow.
I mean, it was a middle school behavior. I mean, it's not like
that is the kind of thing that happened. He's probably not like an unstable person or anything. But
right. Like if an
That's-
adult did that, it's similar to my kindergarten story about that haircut that
I
I
was
got.
gonna say maybe he
It's
wanted to
just-
be your friend.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Oh.
But it was
I feel bad
I felt the thing is that I also felt bad.
at the time.
I felt embarrassed, like nervous and bad. Like I was like,
Oh.
I don't even
Never-
think anybody laughed at him. It was just it was just
That's even worse.
it was just like cosmic horror embarrassment.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's pretty bad.
yeah, so that's the story. That's one story about my my wristband that I used to wear back in the day. What about you?
Well, I guess I have a couple different things I could say. When I was in high school, I bought this bag at Savers, and it was like a tote bag, but it was quilted kind of. Like it was like a very thin, puffy pillow material, and it was a cow. I don't know how to explain that any better. It was like a flat image of a cow that looked like it came from a quilt.
Okay. And what say it? I missed the first part.
It was a tote bag.
It was a tote bag with an illustrated cow.
But it wasn't like a cow on a tote bag. It was like the tote bag was a cow. And it was like it looked like a painting that was printed onto like cotton, and it was fluffy. Like you could squish it. It wasn't quilted. Like it wasn't like a sewn cow.
Okay, I
It
get
was
it.
like a photo of a cow.
Okay.
And it was like a pretty big bag. And I bought it at Savers because I thought it was the most hideous thing I'd ever seen and that it was really funny. And I used it as my art bag and I carried everything in it for like 2 years. And my friends all vocally hated it and they were opposed to the cow bag.
Fucking haters.
I wouldn't stop wearing it. And it wasn't like a random thing. It was like post-random, kind of post-irony.
Post-random, post-irony.
Yeah, but it was
Okay.
like
I
my
can picture
specific
exactly.
brand of that was doing that anyway because it made my friends like mortified and thinking it was funny to mortify my friends.
Post-random, post-irony.
Yes. Post-irony, ironic.
Random.
Yes. So that's what I was doing.
Got it.
And I had
I
that
love
for a
that.
while. And then I had like an existential crisis after my friends went to college. My best friend went to art school in another city. And I was in community college. And I really had this thing at the time. I was like 19. That I really felt like I needed to grow up. And I felt really like frustrated with where I was at. Because I couldn't leave my hometown yet. Which I did like 6 months later. But at the time I was like really frustrated. And I donated a bunch of my shit. And I got rid of the cow bag. Because I thought I needed to like look more mature. And I regretted it so bad.
It's like the equivalent of having a meltdown and shaving your head, but with your wardrobe,
Yeah.
where you just bomb all of your favorite things to Savers and then like cry about it.
I was working as a bank teller at the time too, so I got rid of everything except for like tank tops, cardigans, skirts, like just plain jeans.
Between me, you, and the podcast, I bet the listeners feel the same way. I hope you never set foot in a bank as an employee ever again.
I won't. I can't right now probably do this because I would be too embarrassed, but there is a photo of me, that photo that you took of me last time that I tried to work at a bank, where I'm in the middle of a fucking meltdown in the barn studio, and there's like spray paint and shit all over the walls in the background because we're in your like painting room, and my hair is like, I had dyed it black like 6 months previous and not done anything to it, so it's like my natural color sort of, and it's like all frizzy, and I'm sobbing, and there's smeared makeup all over my face, and I'm in my bank uniform drinking a Gatorade, and I'm just looking at you like the face of death because I just gotten off of a shift at the bank.
You know what's the most disturbing part of that? Is that I cannot remember for the life of me why on earth I would take a photo of you in that moment. Like, why did I do that?
I don't know.
Like, I don't even... Why the fuck would I do that? It's like so disrespectful.
It's so funny.
I
like
forget why. I think I had a reason, but I don't know what it was.
maybe you wanted to show me like
Maybe I think
I don't
I
know.
might have said that one time that I wanted to show you how you looked. I don't fucking know, but it's. A little
I'm glad
weird.
that you took it though because
It's a memorable photo.
it really shows how fucking miserable I was because I was doing the same thing at that point, that like I didn't have any money and I wanted to like get it together and like I wanted everything to be good and to like succeed, so I started working at a fucking bank. I had like a
Fucking
crisis
bank.
and I was like, I can't work in the arts anymore, blah blah blah. I think I told the story before about how a psychic showed up at my job and told me I needed to go back into the arts, and I was like, what the fuck? And then someone robbed me like the next day, and I quit my
Whoa.
job shortly after.
Do you think that fucking like random like crazy lady that definitely isn't psychic was actually psychic?
Dude, I don't know.
Like, you think that was just a real premonition that somebody had? I mean, sorry, like deep like thoughts and prayers and apologies to the psychic people out there, but I don't know.
It pissed me off so
I'm
bad.
just not sold.
I thought that she was maybe a stalker because there were a couple people when I was working at that job who, I didn't tell you this at the time, but there were some
You
people
told
that
me
used
later.
to like follow me around at my lunch break and like tell me that they'd seen me in like stores nearby and shit. Like
Prime candidates for potential stalkers.
they were like actually probably stalkers, but I was just like, well,
Highly likely.
this is the only job that I can afford to have right now, so I'm just gonna deal with it. So I thought that she was one of those, but then I never saw her again. And then I found out that she was like a friend of somebody that I worked with or something, and she was surprised that she knew that about me. Like it wasn't something they'd talked about. So she had like a reference as being a normal person. I never saw her again. She didn't bug me on anything. I got no friend requests or anything like that. So I really just don't know. And maybe she was. But I ended up going back into the art sector like 6 months later. Less than that, actually. Probably like 3 months later. And it was a good move. So maybe she was. I'll take it, I guess.
Sorry. I just ended up in a completely ambiguous traffic situation with tons of cones everywhere.
It's okay. They're doing construction
Like,
on
am
this
I
road.
going in a one-way cone situation?
No, you're fine. See, there's new lines on the road.
Oh, there's
now.
new lines. Oh, I thought I was like...
You're okay. The road is closed up here, though. You have to go up this road.
Yeah, I just don't know about, like... Okay, how about this? I'm going to make peace with the psychics. Okay? If you're a psychic out there, maybe it's not good to do impromptu, nobody asked you readings of a person. Like, don't like go up to somebody and be like, I just talked to your dead brother and he told me to say that he loves you. Like, don't do shit like that.
Yeah, maybe with permission.
Don't do that, bro. Or
But,
like, I just had a revelation that you need to become an astronaut.
here's the other thing, dude.
Don't do that.
The thing that pissed me off about it, she came up to me and she's like, I think that you're an artist. And also, another detail of this is that she asked me if she could go into her safe deposit box. So I was like alone with her in the vault when she said this to me. Like off camera, like back of the bank. Like kind of a weird situation to bring this up. But she just turns to me, I've never talked to her before. And she's like, you're an artist, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, that's random. But like, I guess not that strange. Like, how do you know that? She's like, I could just tell from your vibes. And I'm standing there in like a blazer and a pencil skirt and heels. Like in my miserable bank uniform. And I'm like, okay. What do you mean? And she's like, I can tell that you aren't working, obviously you're not working in the arts because you're at a bank, but I just want to know why. Like, are you in school or anything? And I was like, no. And she was like, I can tell that you're not doing that anymore, and I think that you think you can't afford it or something, but you should really just do it. And I'm in my head like, this lady's just making this shit up, like whatever. But it pissed me off so bad I couldn't stop thinking about it for like weeks. And then I talked to one of my friends about it that works at the place that I work now, and she ended up referring me to get a job there because I guess they were hiring, and I hadn't known that. And she hadn't known that I was interested because I was working at a bank. So it actually ended up being the impetus for me getting back into the arts sector. And I've gotten multiple jobs in the arts since then and built my career basically because of that moment. So maybe it was fine. Like, I guess it was good that she said that to me. But at the moment, I was like, fuck you. Like, you can't tell me that I should do it. Like, just risk it. Like, I don't have any fucking money. That's so privileged to say.
Imagine if it was none of those things were true and it was actually just some, like, deranged, like secret listener of our show that just knew who you were and just
oh my God.
like did something creepy to you, basically.
You know, maybe. If you're listening right now, random psychic, please don't ever contact me again. But thanks.
No more psychic readings.
Yeah. Having a secret podcast while working in like a finance job is also so stressful. I used to have meltdowns about thinking I was going to get fired like every 5 days.
You know what's so funny about that, though, is that people that are like balls deep trying to be a finance person always have terrible podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
They're like a content creator, entrepreneur, finance person.
I used to listen to this finance podcast that was like run by these two, like probably just after college age finance bros. And it was so funny because they were friends from college and they were giving their like investment tips and like how to be a landlord and whatever. But the reason I listened to it is because they were both so... One of them was this really arrogant guy who was just like a like stereotype of a douchebag finance bro. And the other one was like a slightly less confident, arrogant douchebag finance bro guy. And they would just interrupt each other all the time. And the less confident one would always just like cave and let the guy interrupt him and walk on what he was saying. And he would like razz him all the time. He'd just be like, yeah, I know. But then he'd say something shitty about being a landlord. And like, he was just also a douchebag. So I like to listen to them bicker about it and give terrible, like non-generalizable
So you were just literally hate watching some random assholes finance podcast?
Yeah.
Just for what do they have, like fucking like 10 listeners? Like, what the fuck?
No, I don't know.
Whose podcast was it?
I don't remember.
What fucking show were you listening to?
I don't remember. It was a while ago. I just thought it was funny. But they did have some information about like, I don't know, rebuilding your credit score and shit that was useful to me.
Sure.
So I was like taking what I needed from it. But
Yeah.
then I got into like a small like girl boss, corporate girly finance TikTok corner. You had
a finance girly corporate moment.
I just needed to fix my shit, basically. I learned a lot about money, and then I exited that vibe.
Respect, dog.
Yeah. That was like dude, I don't know. Listeners of the podcast may have been able to notice this happening, but I had a mental health fucking crisis in 2021. Around the time that I started working in a bank and shaved my eyebrows off.
You shaved your eyebrows?
Yes, I did.
When the fuck did you shave your eyebrows?
You were there. I shaved my eyebrows off and was drawing them on with an eyeliner pencil for like 2 months when I first moved back to the South Shore.
I don't even remember that.
There are photos of it. That party that you had, my birthday party, that we had like a little show in that park, no eyebrows.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and I was wearing a wallet chain for a while. I didn't have a job. I was working for my dad.
Dude,
I'm glad I made it out alive.
Shout out to me for throwing the worst birthday party for you that you've ever had. That was just random people that you've never even met.
That's not true.
playing a show in a park in the grass.
No, it was
Like,
nice.
who the fuck even went to that? Did anyone you know
Yeah.
go to that? Who?
People I knew went.
Oh, well, I guess you'll have to say, yeah, maybe they did. I guess you're right.
Well, I mean, would
I
it be
thought
weird
that
if I named names? I guess it wouldn't be because they were just there. But
they were like people present at a birthday party.
yeah, this is not that weird, I guess. But like Mary was there. Tommy and Rachel were there.
Yeah.
I forget if Trevor was there. I don't think that he was able to come. Maybe he was.
Shout out to Trevor.
Shout out to Trevor.
Hmm.
What are you looking for? Are you trying to look for a place to skate
I'm
right
just
now?
looking at a good
Are
skate
you
spot.
fucking kidding me,
I'm
dude?
turning around somewhere and I saw a rail and a ledge.
No, we
right there.
suspiciously pulled up to a commuter rail stop in the middle of the night, and you're like
Everybody
leaning out of
who
the car.
skates knows that commuter rails always have a ledge, and this one has a cool...
I was turning around somewhere.
Shut the fucking front door.
Why even say front door if you said fuck anyway?
Shut the fucking front door.
Shut the fucking fudge up.
Jeez Louise. So yeah, dog. Yeah, I didn't know that you shaved your eyebrows.
Yes, you did, and you said it looked good because you love me.
Yeah, because I love you, and you know what? It's like you're okay. You know what? If you're somebody out there in the world, if is this advice?
What are you
I
about
wanna
to
give?
say? You about to give advice that is
I'm gonna give-
actually for 2021 me?
This one's for the boys.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. This one's for the boys listening. Dude, you just say fucking yeah. I love it.
No.
You do.
What the fuck?
No, your friends are going to give you honest advice on something critical that's going to be better than the advice that I give you. But I'm going to hype you up no matter what you fucking do. If I think you're like making a mistake and like,
Yeah.
if you're like, "Oh, I'm going to get a mohawk." I'm going to be like, "Dude, don't." But I'm going to be honest with you, if you pulled up with a mohawk,
Oh, if I'd already done it?
if you'd already done it,
Yeah.
You'd have no choice. You have to say, "Oh, that's sick."
That's true.
But
Yeah.
if you said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," I'd be like, "No, dude, are you fucking stupid? No."
Yeah, I don't think I gave you any warning about the eyebrows.
Yeah, like
I just
if you
showed
show
with no
up
eyebrows.
with no eyebrows, I'm gonna be like, "Wow, I love it."
Wait, so do you actually like my new hair?
Your new hair? Yes, I do. I love it. Oh my god, I'm not trying to destroy my credibility.
Oh my
here.
god.
I'm
Well, you
destroying
did.
my credibility.
Yeah.
There we go. I tried to help somebody out.
Here's a
and
tip
ruined
for the
my life.
boys. Tell a fucking lie.
I wasn't being.
Just tell lies to your girlfriend.
Yeah, best thing you can do to improve your relationship with your partner, lie. All
Nice.
the time. I'm just kidding. No, I love you and I think you look amazing. Okay, so the reason that I think you look good all the time isn't just because I love you. It's also because you have really good style and a very good fashionable intuition. You just know what looks good. You could style somebody. You could have like a
Look me in
clothing
my
line.
eyes right now.
I can't. I'm driving.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just fucking around. I love you, and you look awesome all the time. And here's the thing: you don't even make bad choices in the way you look anyway.
I know.
So yeah, I know too.
I'm
And
just
also,
kidding.
just to point this out real quick,
Yeah.
shaving your eyebrows is not even a big deal.
It looked bad on me though. Like
Well-
the way that I did it, bad.
Here's the thing though, if you are a person if you fucking draw your eyebrows on or fill your eyebrows in already, no big deal on shaving your eyebrows.
I do draw my eyebrows on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you shaved your eyebrows, it wasn't even a big deal.
No, it looked completely different. I'll show you a photo.
All right. Well, I don't really remember, but I'm just saying, even if we're talking about a random fake person, like, I don't know, look at me. I don't draw my eyebrows on ever. So if I just pulled up one day with no eyebrows and drawn on eyebrows, everyone would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But if you are somebody that you're already doing that all the time anyway. Sorry.
Almost got in a head-on car accident.
No, we
in the
fucking
middle of your
didn't.
plane.
I'm just saying, does that point make sense that if you're an eyebrow drawer, then
No, I think that you're missing the nuance of different eyebrow shapes and how different it looks.
but-
Like drawing your eyebrows on is not the same as filling them in. Because you can
that makes
see,
sense.
it's like a different texture.
Yeah.
Like, if you're drawing them on through the eyebrows that you already have on, you're increasing the thickness of the existing brow. Versus if there's nothing there and you're shaving it completely and you're drawing it on, that's like a tattoo brow look. It's like a flat, very accented, probably black or colorful brow. That's a completely different style.
Okay. All right. So, okay, with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
I still think if you are a person that does eyebrow makeup in some way,
Mm-hmm.
you would probably be able to survive shaving your eyebrows and you'd look fine.
If you were going for that style.
Obviously, yeah.
I just
Like-
don't feel like it's equitable. It's like saying that if
It's
you...
not equitable.
Yeah. I don't
Huh.
think it's the same thing. Because it's like...
Huh.
I don't know. I feel like...
Wait, is the point of contention that filling in eyebrows isn't the same as drawing them on? Is that like the kind of main snag?
Well, I guess so, but it's like... It's just a completely different look.
You mean having no eyebrows and drawing them on is a different look than filling them in?
Like, if you're somebody that dyes your hair all the time, that doesn't mean that you necessarily would like it if your hair was black. Like, just because you do a change to your brows often, or you
Or-
like care for them in a certain way often, doesn't mean that doing a different
What-
thing to them is the same.
Would a better example be just because you dye your hair all the time doesn't mean you'd look great with a wig?
Yeah. Maybe you would. There's also a lot of people that do. I'm not saying that shaving your eyebrows is bad all across the board.
But the wig is a style.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason it was indicative of me having a fucking meltdown is because it looked terrible and did not match my style at all.
I'll have to see a picture because I'm like drawing a blank.
Seriously?
Yeah, I
Maybe
like
I'm
really.
being self-critical right now.
Yeah,
but-
I really don't remember you having like a bizarre eyebrow era.
I mean, it wasn't that long because as soon as I did it, I was like, damn. I just like
Huh.
let them grow back. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna find a picture right
completely drawing a blank.
now. How would you describe my style typically?
What do you mean? Like just your current your
Just like how I
aesthetic?
dress. Yeah. Like if you ran into me on a
Um,
random Wednesday.
I would say that you're kind of an indie earth tones business cash a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like I'd say like indie professional is how you mostly look.
So now look at that.
Yeah, that's drawn on eyebrows right there. That's
Yeah.
you with shaved eyebrows?
Yes.
When
that
did you
was-
do that?
That was when I was working construction.
Well, I like it. It looks pretty cool.
Let me see if I can find another picture. This was also.
Oh yeah. Look at that, doesn't even look like you.
Yeah.
That was when we were hanging out every day.
Yes. This is summer before last.
What the fuck?
This is me in the barn with the drawn on eyebrows.
Yeah, that's when we filmed that like dollhouse meme video.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't even remember that detail. Yeah.
They looked a little better here. They were growing back here.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. That fucking happened.
Mhm.
Huh. Is it weird that I just don't have any memory of that?
No, I kind of prefer that.
Yeah, I get. Maybe I didn't notice. Maybe you didn't tell me that you did that, and I just was
You
like.
were with me.
So you took a shaving razor and shaved your eyebrows off,
Yes.
and right in front of my face.
No, I did it at my house right before I came to your house, and then I showed it to you.
No memory of that. I do not remember that at all.
For context, this is what I looked like right before that.
Where are you in that picture?
My kitchen.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like I am having amnesia because I don't even know what you're fucking talking about at all.
That's okay.
All right. All right, moving on. Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah,
What did this question start with? Do you have a favorite item of clothing from back in the day?
we went so far off track of that. Damn, I forgot that this was a little.
This was supposed to be just a conclusionary segment of the previous recording that we've done.
Whole new episode.
Yeah, we kind of like just did a whole new thing.
Hmm.
Whatever, dog. I think this is a fucking spectacular episode.
Yeah.
Shall we wrap this one?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Do you have any concluding thoughts? Well, I do. I have an art show. I'm gonna pre-record a little introductory thing for this episode, if you don't mind, a cold open about the art show that I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So, with that being said,
Hey.
well, we talked about your art show right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And when that is more near and when the programming
Yours
is
is
announced,
sooner. Yours is sooner.
Yeah, once your programming is announced, we'll plug the shit out of it.
All right, that's fair.
But yeah, so actually, yeah, so you already heard all that. LTC art show, April 27th is the
Hell yeah.
reception. Blah blah blah.
But you can go see it all month.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it right now though, because in this universe, I already recorded.
Okay, well,
They already actually heard the promotion.
Yeah,
Isn't
but-
that so weird? It's like time travel,
It is time travel for us
and for them.
and for them. Well, no,
All right.
they're on a linear timeline.
All right, frick this episode.
Where are we going?
In the bag. I have an alternative idea.
Are we going to get ice cream?
Fucking
Fuck
hell,
yes,
hell
dude.
fucking yeah, we're going to get ice cream.
Hell fucking yeah.
Even though we bought some last night, put it in the fridge, and then forgot to eat it. But that's in
Wait,
my
really?
house. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what other people, maybe other couples do that we don't do?
What?
Do you think other couples buy one ice cream and then share it and like cutely feed each other ice cream with spoons?
I doubt it.
Huh. Okay.
Single serving Ben and Jerry pints are the way to go.
Yeah, but that's for the lactose intolerant or liberal crowd only. That's the same crowd, isn't it?
But
Rim shot.
if we had one pint of ice cream, we don't even do that with like if we're sharing food, because you will take my share.
Well, you usually just eat a little bit of your food and then I eat the rest.
We said the same thing in different fonts just now.
I love that metaphor. I like how I got by unscathed when you said describe my style.
Indie business cash.
I like that I just nailed that and you were satisfied with my answer.
I mean, I wasn't, but I thought it was close.
I'm doing a little victory lap right now, is all.
I don't think I'm business cash, but if I did say on a random Wednesday, so I would be at work.
On a random Wednesday, indie professional, I would say.
What about? Okay, that's fair.
Like you're like
Yes.
somebody who's being professional, but you're indie.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to the cousin of that style, which is what I would consider all like goth professional.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have to turn around. Fuck.
Are you going to Target?
Target closed at 9,
Oh.
so we actually have to double back.
Oh.
It's okay. We're going to conservative Target. Walmart.
God.
Target for conservative people.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love Walmart.
What would you call
Shout
my
out to the
style?
Waltons.
Hey,
Shout out
No,
to the
shut
Crystal
the
Bridges
fuck
Museum and
stop!
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Stop!
What?
Stop going political.
I'm not being
It's
political.
the end of the episode.
I support the Walton
Stop
family.
it. How would you describe my style on a random Friday night?
On a random Friday night?
Mhm.
Well, who are you with?
My friends.
Okay. So you're with your friends, and where are we going?
Out for drinks.
I think that you would dress... Fuck, how do I describe this? Fuck. So I'm just... Fuck. There's definitely a way I would describe this off air.
I know what you would say off air.
Should I say that on air?
Probably
No.
not.
Okay. In a loving way for anybody who's connecting dots with context clues. In a loving, sweet way.
Wait, no, say it.
No, forget it. But I feel like you would dress like fun and sexy and not casual at all, like exciting. Like you do an exciting, flary look.
What does that mean?
I don't know, maybe like a fun dress or like a statement jacket. What? Is that
Okay.
stupid?
No, that's fair.
I feel like that's how
But like,
you would
what
dress.
kind of like eyeball look, like color palette vibes?
Fuck. Shit.
Give me like a general.
Color palette,
Yeah.
dark.
Okay.
You're not neon color poppy.
Mm.
You're either earth tones or black.
Okay.
That's at least how I think of you in my head
Mhm.
canon for your color palette.
Yeah.
And you don't do a lot of fun Friday night looks that involve pants.
That's true. That's actually true.
You're mostly skirts and dresses, right?
Yeah, actually, lately, yeah, that's true. Because most of my pants are either shitty jeans or they're like pants for work.
I'm doing pretty good right now, aren't I?
You are doing
I don't
pretty
know
good.
exactly what I'm doing, but you seem to like my answers.
What kind of makeup would I wear on a night out with my friends?
Interesting question. I feel like you wouldn't. You definitely do makeup, but I feel like I feel like you wouldn't do something completely crazy out of the box.
Okay.
But I feel like you definitely do something. But it definitely wouldn't be like laid back, no makeup look.
Okay.
It would be something like substantial,
Mm-hmm.
but not something like crazy. Like sometimes I feel like when you're with me,
Yeah.
you'll do a crazy makeup look.
That's true.
I don't know
Sometimes
why, but you do.
That's true, actually. Usually when I'm going out with my friends, it's like, I don't know why I do that, actually. I do, though. Sometimes I do, like, a very theatrical thing when I'm hanging out with you.
Yeah, that you do. You totally do. Like, I don't know. Like one time you drew like hearts on your eyes or something.
Yeah.
Like you do stuff like that every once in a while. But I don't see you doing that with a night out. On a night out with
He
your
bought
friends.
her a big stuffed animal.
That guy's a fucking simp. I'm just kidding. Sorry. What do you? I don't know. Whatever. I'll get you a stuffed animal.
Yeah, you
'cause I
fucking
love you.
better.
I will. But not tonight. It'll have to be a surprise. It'll be when you least expect it.
You're such a liar. You were doing so good.
Your birthday's coming up.
Yeah, in August.
That's sooner than mine. Don't glare at me. All right, should we wrap this one up?
Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap-ola. All right.
Cool.
Well, I'm having fun.
I am too.
We always burn out right at the end, don't we? At least I'm not hungry right now.
I have an idea.
What?
Let's wrap this one up real quick first.
Okay, should we
All
wrap
right.
it up?
Mhm.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Boston Art Podcast is an independent DIY production by Brian Huntress and Theodora Earthworms. The information contained in this episode represents the views and opinions of the original creators or our guests, and does not represent any institution, organization, or business. Find us on Instagram at Boston Art Podcast, and tune in for a new episode every Friday. Thank you for listening.